Hey, I'm Brittney Yvonne, and this is After the Upload, the cozy corner of the internet where I unwind, reflect, and talk about life behind the content. No pressure, no performance, just vibes. Let's get into it. Okay, so I guess we're really doing this. This is the first official episode of After the Upload, and I just want to start by saying thank you all for being here. Whether you found this randomly or you've been around for a while, like following my content and such, I appreciate you a lot. Starting this podcast wasn't part of some type of long-term plan. Like literally the idea popped into my head and I just followed it, which honestly feels kind of refreshing. That's what this space is about for me. Doing things because they feel right, not because they're strategic. So now I've prepared a few questions for myself to answer for you all as part of a reflection of kind of why I'm doing this and what I kind of want to get out of it since this is the first episode. So a first question I have for myself is why now? What inspired this podcast? So I've been creating online for a while now, and over time it started to feel more like a performance than an outlet. It got to the point where I was asking myself, what am I doing this for? Like, am I even enjoying myself anymore? So this podcast is me reclaiming that joy, kind of like no algorithms, no pressure, just conversations I actually want to have, not just because, it's trending or people are talking about them. The next question I have for myself is what have you let go of recently? And I think one of the biggest things that I've let go of is the need to be like on all the time. Like I don't want to curate every little moment. I'm choosing to be real, even if it's quieter, even if it's not trendy, even if it doesn't go viral, especially if it doesn't go viral, to be honest. The third question I have for me is what do you want this podcast to be? I think that's kind of a loaded question, but I want After the Upload to feel like a soft landing spot. So, like, whether you're a creator, a dreamer, or just someone figuring it all out, this is a place to pause, reflect, and honestly just be. Because if you think about it and you look around in the content space, just the internet space in general, there's not a lot of places to just be. Everyone is always putting on or just showing you the highlight reels of their lives, and that is not always true. That's not always the case, and I want this space to kind of be that landing spot where feel like you have nowhere else to go and you just want to land somewhere soft where you don't have to be anything if you don't want, if that makes sense. I hope this all makes sense. Yeah, so not everything we do has to be about content. Some of it can just be ours. We can maybe have, I don't know, little segments about different topics that I can come up with or you guys can come up with. If you're wanting to give me feedback in any way, shape, or form, that would be very appreciated. So the next question I have for myself is how is this different from before? So, like I said, I used to feel like I needed to be like constantly on or like, I don't know, doing something all the time content-wise to prove something. I don't know necessarily what I thought I had to prove, but I just felt like I was getting a lot in for nothing, if that makes sense. So that I was like working hard. I was, as they say, in my bag, if you will, like that. And I don't know, I guess it felt like I wasn't doing enough, if that makes sense. But now I just want to let the words speak, like all my work speak for itself. I I don't know how else to put it. Like I wanted to become a creator simply because I wanted to connect with people, and I wanted to become a creator because I was creative and I feel like I can do a lot of things creatively, if that makes sense. But now I don't want to create. I want to more so document. And documenting and creating, I feel like, are two completely different things, because you can create, and when you hear the word create, you're like, oh, okay, I have to make this something, I have to create it, I have to curate it. When you're documenting, you're literally just going with the flow, following the path of the least resistance, and literally just be. That's the kind of path I'm on. I'm not trying to chase any followers. I'm not trying to chase subscribers. I'm not trying to chase brands. Like, if that happens, I'll be, happy, of course, but it's not something that I'm chasing. I already work a 9-to-5 job. I don't need to be chasing after people when I'm supposed to be having fun with that time of documenting and, creating stuff that I would like to create instead of forcing it. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I know that was really long-winded. I apologize. If you're new to my content at all, you're in for a ride, because I ramble. Okay, ask my YouTube. They know that I ramble. I get to talking. I'm just long-winded. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Okay, so I think I've talked enough. So now, what's next for after the upload? For me, it's honestly this. Slower living, more intention, more softness, because that's kind of non-existent in our internet space today. I don't know. I also just want to give myself permission to figure it out as I go, and to know that not everything has to be thought out, not everything has to be intentional all the time. You kind of just want to pick up the camera and go, and not worry about, is this going to get enough views? Is this going to go viral? Is even people going to like this? Like, it's not about that, honestly, at the end of the day. No matter who tells you, what creator tells you, things that they've done to help them get brand deals or whatever, like, okay, yeah, but they're still chasing. And most of the creators that you've watched up to this point, and creators that, have huge followings, they've already done that hard work. They literally have brands and people just everywhere for them, because they already made their indent, their stamp into the creator space, if that makes sense. So for all of us newer aspiring creators, where people are feeling like they're stuck with their content, no one's following along, or you spend all this time editing and for nothing to come from it, I understand. Okay, I'm with you. I get it. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do this. So yeah, this is that spot just for us to kind of detach from the internet space and just vibe, just be. I mean, it's called After the Upload. So, all right. So I'm going to stop rambling, because this did not need to be long at all, especially for the first episode. If we get into more like different topics or different things I can talk about, then that's when we can blow steam and we can just ramble. We can be as long-winded as we want to. But for now, this first episode has come to an end. So I just want to thank you for starting this with me. I'm genuinely excited for where this could go, but also okay if it's just a moment right here. That's completely enough for me. But if you felt something during this episode, I would love for you to stick around, subscribe, follow, or just come back whenever you need a vibe check. Also, if you want to keep the conversation going or share your own journey, you're welcome to The Haven. It's a Discord I have, and the link should be in the show notes. But this has been After the Upload, conversations from the quiet side of creating. I'll talk to you all next time.